I got secrets that nobody knows.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sport Breaks. Of course, I am your host, Dante Washington, back with you guys and gals for another episode. And as always, when we get started, make sure that you are subscribed and downloading Sport Breaks on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasting from. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and following Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. Of course, I am live here right now on TikTok. This is the start, of course. But make sure that you are liking and subscribing to Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. If you're here on TikTok, hit my link tree and it will guide you to the various places that you need to be so that you can like and subscribe easily. It will be greatly appreciated, period, point blank. So as always, let's go. Man, long day. But we got a whole lot to get to in a short period of time. I'm going to be on here like a hot 30. Of course, I am a gentleman, so I like to start with the women first. Of course, we will dabble into the NCAA for the women. Had a good bit of games on Sunday. Today, actual conference tournaments start. The Sun Belt tournament has gotten underway. We've had 2 games go final in the Sun Belt already. The 12th seed Georgia Southern won their game against the 13th seed Texas State 72-70, so they will move on in the Sun Belt tournament. As well as the home state, Coastal Carolina, the Lady Chanticleers, won their game against the 14th seeded South Alabama team 79-60, so they will move on as well. Like I said, it is March. The madness is about to begin. Shout out to the Pisces that are moving out my way, and I say my, and I speak my, and I say all Aries. So let me say that again. Shout out to all the Pisces that are moving out our way. The best sign ever. Everybody that's an Aries on here, I'ma definitely need you to make sure you hit that hard. Make sure you send a rose or something. Shout out to you. But again, we have tournaments starting off today. Horizon League tournament will begin around 7. We have the 6 seed Detroit Mercy taking on the 11 seed Robert Morris. 7 seed Youngstown State will take on the 10 seed IUPUI. Also in the Horizon League, looks like we will have the 8 seed Oakland against Northern Kentucky. And UNLV will play Utah State tonight. That is not a tournament game, doesn't look like. But tomorrow, the SEC will get underway with their tournament. Atlantic 10, the ACC, the Sun Belt, Ohio Valley. Everybody is getting their tournament started as of tomorrow for the ladies, Pac-12, everybody. So definitely, if you are into the women's game, if you are a young lady, if you are a grown woman who is into the ladies game, this is your time right now. So make sure that you stay tuned here, but also make sure you stay tuned to your TV as well to see when what games that are you paying attention to will get underway. Shifting a tad bit, looking at when the ladies NCAA tournament will start. Selection Sunday will be, of course, on a Sunday, March 17th. That will happen at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN for their Selection Sunday. First 4 games will begin March 20th through the 21st. First round games will be March 22nd through the 23rd. Second round will go March 24th through the 25th. Sweet 16 will be March 19th through, March 29th through the 30th. Elite 8 will be March 31st through April 1st. And of course, the Final Four will be April 5th at 7:30 and at 9 p.m. The host will be the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio this year. And of course, the championship game will happen on Sunday, April 7th at 3 p.m. on ABC. And again, it will be in Cleveland, Ohio this year. Switching over to the guys, of course, like I said, tournament play has gotten underway. Looks like the Atlantic Sun tournament has gotten underway. Yesterday, Duke and NC State got it in. Duke won this game 79-64. In Atlantic Sun, the 10th seed beat the 9th seed Kennesaw State 92-86. So got a shocker already on the men's side. Also in Atlantic Sun, Queens, New York beat Florida Gulf Coast, which again was an upset. Florida Gulf Coast was the 7th seed in the Atlantic Sun, and Queens was the 8th seed. So 69-63, they got that win. Texas took on Baylor. Baylor won this game 93-85. Like I said, some tournament games getting underway today. Also on the men's side, the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina will be in action. They are the 13th seed. They will go against the 12th seed Louisiana Monroe. That game will happen at 6 o'clock. Holy Cross and Army of West Point, of course, the Cadets are the 8th seed. Holy Cross is the 9th seed. That game will happen at 6 p.m. It is a Patriot League tournament game. And a few other games going on today. Again, the Tar Heels is in action. Alabama will be in action. Top 15 matchup against the 3rd ranked Purdue Boilermakers against 12th seeded Illinois. That will happen at 7 o'clock. Atlantic Suns tournament will get way. Patriot League, Horizon. It is a slew of games coming on. 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock game, 13th ranked Auburn will take on Missouri. So again, we have a whole lot going on. It is March Madness, of course. I am a March baby, so shout out to all my March babies that are out there. Does not care. I do not care if you from March 1st through the 31st. I am a March baby, March 21st. Period. So shout out to all my March Madness babies out there. Boom. Looking at the association, that is the NBA. Had some good games last night. Grizzlies took it to the Nets 106-102. The Bucks got a win without Giannis Antetokounmpo 113-106. My Trailblazers seem to can't catch a break. We lost against the Timberwolves 119-114. The Jazz beat the Wizards 127-115. The Bulls topped the Kings 113-109. And lastly, the Lakers got their lick back against the Thunder 116-104. Looking at some games for today, we got a bunch of them. Most notably for me, looking at the Hawks and the Knicks. Both teams are kind of banged up. And also another team that's banged up that was playing good of late. The Cavaliers will host the league leading Boston Celtics tonight at 7:30. And another big game going on later on tonight. I will probably be sleeping as I am in the 40 club. And I have my regular 9 to 5 to deal with in the morning. So the Suns and the Nuggets will tango in the Mile High City at 10 o'clock. And just looking, like, preliminarily looking at what is going on with the NBA right now, if the playoffs started right now, of course, on the Eastern Conference side, the Boston Celtics would be the #1 seed. They have been the best team to me in basketball all season long. 48-12 at this moment, with 9 home games and 13 away games left in the season. They are sitting pretty. But if the playoffs happen to have to start today, they would take on the 8th seed Indiana Pacers. But of course, with this play-in stuff, I really can't stand it. That's just, I don't like it. But looking at the 2-7 matchup, it would be the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Miami Heat. And to me, everyone wants to give the Heat so much credit for what they did last year. Like, okay, they barely made the play-in tournament, so now they are just this. Okay, they can turn it on and get to the finals type team. I don't think so. If Giannis is healthy, if Dame is playing like has been playing for the last 4 or 5 games, I don't see this matchup being credible at all. That's just my opinion. Looking at the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, 10 home games, 10 away games, only 20 games left in the regular season before these seeds are locked up. So it's going to be a tough go. The 3-6 matchup would be Cleveland against Orlando. Orlando being a surprise team. Cleveland, right now, they have won a slew of games. They literally went like 16 out of 18 at one point before dropping a few games here recently. With the injury of Donovan Mitchell, he's pretty much day to day right now. That is a big thing for me. And remembering how they played last year, I'm not sure if they won it or not. And you look at the Orlando Magics. Of course, Paul Banchero has been playing lights out, but not just only Paul Banchero. They have been playing great as a team as of late. They have 12 home games, 9 away games, so no reason that they can't improve their seeding going forward. And of course, the 4-5 matchup would be the New York Knicks against the Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, last year's MVP in Joel Embiid out indefinitely right now. If he can get back for the playoffs, I'm just curious to see how in shape he is for the game right now after that injury. And then on the Knicks side of things, the injury bug has hit in the Knicks as well. Jalen Brunson just getting back, but you still have Julius Randle on the shelf. You got some key pieces that they bought in. They have been kind of hampered with some little nitpick injuries as well. So that 4-5 matchup would definitely be interesting because Tyrese Maxey seems to have taken things very seriously upon his shoulders as of late. Looking at the play-in situation, in the 9th seed, of course, it's Chicago right now, 10th seed Atlanta, 11th seed Brooklyn, and 12th seed is Toronto. Respectively, 29-32, 26-34, 24-37, and 23-38. They are all within 2 to 4 games of each other, and all having 21, 22, 23, and 21 games to play left in the season. So the play-in tournament has not been set in stone as well. Like I said, people, this NBA playoffs is getting ready to ramp up. I don't know if y'all understand it or not. If you haven't been watching, please get up on your basketball, all right? Looking on the Western Conference side, of course, the Minnesota Timberwolves has To me, they've been the shock and the surprise of this season. Anthony Edwards playing like a MVP caliber guard. But right now, if the playoffs started, they would have to play Dallas. And Dallas, to me, is probably the scariest team in the NBA right now. If Kyrie is on deck, it is going to be a tough go. They have plenty of size to match up with Minnesota's size, and to me, it will all come down to which guard play is most effective and which team is willing to play enough defense. So this 1-8 matchup could get real intriguing. Looking at their last 4 games, Minnesota has won the first two 119 to 101, 118 to 110. But Dallas won 115 to 108. And then lastly, at the end of January, Minnesota beat them boys like they stole something, 121 to 87. Kyrie did not play that game, and I want to say Luka did not play that game either. But I will, if you know that from January 31st of this year, if you know that, put that in the comments and let me know what did Luka or did Kyrie play. But to me, that is an intriguing matchup. It's almost like that 4-5 matchup, but it just has that 1-8 beside it, you know. Oklahoma City could easily take over the first spot because looking at Minnesota's record, 43-19, they basically have the same loss aside their record, but Oklahoma has the tiebreaker with Minnesota, if you do not know. Oklahoma City is 42-19 right now, of course, currently in the 2nd seed. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, has been lights out. This is a young team that just does not know they shouldn't be. But if you paid attention, they played in the play-in game last year, got a little bit of experience, and now they're back, period. They're back with a vengeance. And like I said, being that they're so young, they don't know half of the ordeal as far as they shouldn't be playing as good. But when you see this team, if you have not looked at Oklahoma City Thunder play this year, please pay attention to them. They are very good with their spacing. They run their plays sharply. They got a few players that can get their shot off when they need to. And defensively, they play spectacular. Right now, if the playoffs started, they will be going up against the 7th seed Sacramento Kings. Again, Sacramento to me is reeling. You look at what they did last year and how they lost. Maybe that has an effect. Or maybe it's their all-world guard not being at the first part of the year. I don't know. But with a record of 34-26, still do not take the Kings lightly. The 3-4, 3-6 matchup would be Denver against Phoenix. Of course, Denver being this past year's reigning champions. Denver just know how to win. And to me, they have the best basketball player in the game right now. And I don't mean just big man. And I ain't talking about big guard. He is the best basketball player in the league right now in Nikola Jokic. Period. We can debate that all you want to. Look at the stats. Look at what he has done. And if it wasn't for Joel Embiid playing his head off last year, I still wanted to give Jokic that MVP last year. Just my thoughts. Again, if you want to join the conversation, please hit me up in the comments. Period. But Phoenix, of course, has their big three, but their big three has only played 18, 19 games together. No one knows what they're gonna do, what they're about. So still yet a scary team. They are well built and they can turn it on in the playoffs. But if they had to play Denver right now, I think they would be at home after the first round. And lastly, the 4-5 matchup would be the Clippers versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Of course, the Pelicans to me are so up and down. And then on the flip side of this coin, the Clippers are so up and down. I don't know, but if this series had to happen, I could see the series going 7. If you made me pick, I would definitely pick. I pick the Clippers because I know what their firepower is. I know what PG does. I know what Kawhi is, and I trust Coach Tyronn Lue. Period. So with that being said, I would definitely pick LA. But looking at the play-in situation, 9th seed, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers, Mr. LeBron James and AD. They sit at 34 and 29. 10th is Golden State. Of course, that man, mama, there goes that man, in Stephen Curry. They are 32 and 28. Utah Jazz are at 28 and 34, kind of falling back. And Houston is at 26 and 34. So I'm gonna say this before I move on. If the Lakers or Golden State comes out of the play-in tournament, I'm scared. I'm literally scared for a Minnesota or a Oklahoma City. The only way I will not say that play-in team between Los Angeles and Golden State makes a deep enough run into the playoffs after getting out the play-in is if Denver comes up and grabs that number 1 spot. And virtue of records, Denver is 42 and 19. Oklahoma City is 42 and 19. Minnesota is 43 and 19. Again, Oklahoma City holds the tiebreaker over Minnesota. And on my next live, when I speak on basketball, I'll definitely have that info for you as far as if Denver has any type of tiebreakers over Oklahoma City. Whew. A lot. So again, our NBA season is literally 22 to 23 games away before the playoffs start. March Madness is here. Both women and men's conference tournaments have begun. It is an exciting time to be a fan of sports, people. It's definitely an exciting time to be a fan of Sport Breaks as well, because I'm going to bring it to you with the real. Make sure that you are subscribed and downloading Sport Breaks on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasting from. Also, make sure that you are following and subscribing to Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. Again, I am here on TikTok live right now in your area. I am always live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. I had to change it from 5 p.m. because my regular job, I get off kind of late, whatever. So I still got to live and do what I got to do. But I am here live on TikTok on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6. On Saturdays, I will drop my mock drafts at 6 p.m. as well. I am currently in conversations with a few athletes that I still have ties and touches to, that I still follow and I still got love for. So look out for those interviews as well. They will be dropping soon as well, for sure. Boom. Moving right along real quickly, looking at the NFL, of course, a lot of things transpiring as far as free agency goes. I think the latest thing that I saw that came out, I'm looking at some stuff now. Offensive tackle Ryan Bates has been traded to the Bears in exchange for Chicago's 2024 5th round pick. The New England Patriots have received the transition tag from Kyle Duggar. He is looks like a safety, and it will pay him $13.9 million for this season. Little minor stuff going on here and there, but the biggest news today to me was Justin Madubuike receiving a franchise tag, which it is worth $22.1 million for this season. My God. Yeah. And also for the Baltimore Ravens, Nelson Aguilar signed a 1-year extension. Of course, T. Higgins received the franchise tag. Of course, Mike Evans signed a 2-year deal with the Jaguars this past yesterday. Of course, Denver has released their quarterback, Russell Wilson. Just a lot going on with free agency, so you definitely want to keep your ear to everything what's going on. And I'm literally scrolling through everything right now. Jalen Johnson, cornerback for the Bears, receiving the non-franchise tag, which will pay him $19.8 million for this season. And one last thing that I see, linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maybin agreed to a 2-year extension worth up to $8 million, including $5.24 million that is guaranteed. Brian Burns has received the franchise tag. That is the other thing that I saw, which is worth $24 million. I think the Panthers are smart for this. Brian Burns is a franchise type of person, type of linebacker. Just my only thing to it is, and I'm gonna say this, Carolina Panther fans, I am sorry. I think they needed to keep him, but I also think that they need to look towards the offensive side of the football. Again, I do not think Bryce Young is for the Panthers. I don't think he's it. I don't think Caleb Williams is gonna be it. I'm just a realist, man. I am a realist when I get in front of this microphone, when I get in front of this camera for y'all. And lastly, again, Mike Evans re-signing on a 2-year deal, $52 million, a whole bunch of guaranteed. Antonio Winfield Jr., he has received the non-exclusive franchise tag from Tampa Bay. No word yet on Baker Mayfield, but his name has been tied to all type of situations, such as Atlanta, such as back to Tampa Bay. I would love to see him going back to Tampa Bay. They just re-signed Mike Evans. Draft-wise, they could get a decent enough receiver, or they can go, pluck something at defensive-wise. I think they need to go receiver, such as Keon Coleman or somebody like that. It would be crazy, like super crazy. Demarcus Robinson, he re-signed on a 1-year deal worth $5 million with the Rams. And that is it on the list as far as the NFL free agency goes. But again, it is so much going on. The draft is upcoming. And it's just so much, man. So much going on. And looking at the draft again, it will be held April 25th. That is on a Thursday. It will run through Saturday, April 27th. It will be a doozy, of course. What will Chicago do with their pick? Will they draft Caleb Williams? Will they ship that pick away? Or will they do a left field and draft Marvin Harrison Jr.? What will the Bears do? We do not know, but we are all waiting to see. Period. I think that is it for today. I am going to on my audio show as of tomorrow. I will drop tomorrow morning sometime. I will definitely give you all outlook on the NHL playoffs as well. Big surprises there. It's just a lot going on. Again, like I said, we got the women's basketball March Madness, men's March Madness. NBA is cranking up, headed towards the playoffs. NHL is headed towards the playoffs. It's just so much going on. And oh, never mind, baseball has already started spring training as well. If you are a fanatic like myself, I saw my boy Morrell Pratt that he had joined in, man. Shout out to Morrell Pratt, man. Real big on coaching down there, but he was a heck of an athlete down here in the city too. So super speed guard that can do it all. If you are a fan of sports, period, definitely track and field. Lot going on, high school track and field. Again, it's a few people I got to hit up right after this to get some interviews going. So it is what it is. But again, make sure that you all subscribe to Sport Breaks on Spotify, wherever you're getting your podcasting from. Also, make sure that you are subscribing, following Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. Make sure you hit that like, make sure you drop a comment, and whenever I'm on live or whatever the case is, make sure you drop some hearts. If you really feel it, make sure you drop a rose. It is greatly appreciated, period, point blank. If you want to be invited on my live, just all you got to do is hit me up in my inbox. Tell me you want to chop it up, and I'm very all for that, period, point blank. I don't care if you are a female or a male. As long as you know what you're talking about and we can respect each other, we can get it in. Period. Because if it ain't Sport Breaks, it ain't shh. Knowledge, world. Peace.